never rat on your friends, and always keep your mouth shut.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most memorable movie characters who gave up their former allies to the enemy for their own self-interest, and occasionally to their eventual undoing.
Why, oh why didn't I take the blue pill?
Number 10, Mr. Orange, Reservoir Dogs.
Look, man, an undercover cop's got to be Marlon Brando, right? To do this job, you got to be a great actor.
The act of going undercover within a criminal organization involves deception right from the jump. Yet it's not uncommon for some law enforcement agents to feel remorse when it comes time to reveal themselves. The final revelation that Tim Roth's Mr. Orange has, in fact, been a cop all along is devastating to Harvey Keitel's Mr. White.
We're out of there in 2 minutes, not 1 second longer. What happens if the manager won't give you the diamonds?
Although a deleted scene softens the impact of this scene a bit since it reveals Mr. White's cop-killing past, the end results remain the same. Keitel's character is overcome with rage at not listening to nice guy Eddie Cabot's warning, as well as shame for letting his potentially fatherly instincts toward Mr. Orange blind his intuition.
Joe, trust me on this. You've made a mistake. He's a good kid.
Number 9, Carter Burke, Aliens.
What if that ship didn't even exist? Did you ever think about that? I didn't know.
This junior executive proudly admits to being a company man the moment he introduces himself to Ellen Ripley in Aliens.
I work for the company, but don't let that fool you. I'm really an okay guy.
Carter Burke is successful in his attempts to convince Ripley to return to deep space on a rescue mission. However, what Ripley doesn't know is that Burke's agenda has always been to research and bring back samples of xenomorph life. It's through Burke's deception that the colony of Hadley's Hope is overtaken by the aliens, and he effectively sends the Space Marines off to their deaths.
So I made a decision and it was wrong. It was a bad call, Ripley. It was a bad call.
Bad call?
Right.
These people are dead, Burke! Don't you have any idea what you've done here?
You know the old saying, don't bring a knife to a gunfight? Well, the decisions of both Burke and Gorman doomed their team to a horribly violent death, thanks to their lack of firepower.
Ripley, I expected more from you. I thought you'd be smarter than this.
I'm happy to disappoint you.
Number 8, Peter Pettigrew, Harry Potter franchise.
My old friend!
The wizarding world of Harry Potter is chock full of individuals whose true motivations remain hidden until just the right moment.
Get off!
Peter Pettigrew was an opportunist and a sycophant.
You're the reason they're dead.
No, Harry, it wasn't him. Somebody did betray your parents, but it was somebody who, until quite recently, I believed to be dead.
Who was it then?
Peter Pettigrew.
A wizard always looking out for number 1 and often doing so via his social connections. It's his betrayal that results in the deaths of Harry Potter's parents. This is despite Pettigrew initially being a close friend of Harry's father, James.
Harry, look at you. You look so much like your father, like James. We were the best of friends,
How dare you speak to Harry? How dare you talk about James in front of him?
Yet old Wormtail was looking over the horizon. He saw Voldemort's power growing and decided to throw in his lot with evil.
Stop, Lord. You've no idea the weapons he possesses. I'm such a serious. What would you have done? What would you have done?
I would have died! I would have died rather than betray my friend!
Number 7, Dr. Elsa Schneider, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
I knew it was you. You have your father's eyes.
And my mother's ears. But the rest belongs to you.
The Jones boys always were a sucker for a pretty face. This is essentially why Dr. Elsa Schneider managed to get one over on both Indiana Jones and his father.
My guess is Dad found out more than he was looking for. And until I'm sure, I'm going to continue to do things the way I think they should be done.
How dare you kiss me?
Her seductive nature and manipulative mannerisms hide her true intentions.
You came back for the book?
To acquire the Holy Grail for her employers in Adolf Hitler's Nazi party. She betrays the trust of Indiana's father without a second thought and is eventually successful in finding the Grail. Schneider's greed remains with her right to the end and winds up becoming her undoing. Indiana attempts to save her as she dangles from a dangerous precipice, but her desire to grab the Grail, which is just out of her reach, results in a fatal fall.
Give me your hand. Give me your other hand.
Number 6, Dennis Nedry, Jurassic Park.
Our lives are in your hands and you have butterfingers?
I'm totally unappreciated in my time. You can run this whole park from this room with minimal staff for up to 3 days. You think that kind of automation is easy?
John Hammond hired Dennis Nedry to work as a computer programmer for his vision of Jurassic Park. However, Nedry's greed and disloyalty would kick off the first film's disastrous chain of events. Struggling with significant debt, Nedry begins to feel that he's underpaid for the work he puts in at the park.
See, I'm sorry about your financial problems, Dennis. I really am, but they are your problems.
Oh, you're right, John. You're absolutely right. You know, everything's my problem.
I will not get drawn into another financial debate with you, Dennis.
This dissatisfaction leads him to betray Hammond's trust and attempt to smuggle dinosaur embryos out of the park. In order to accomplish this, the programmer deactivates nearly all of the security systems, thereby putting the entire island in jeopardy. Nedry eventually gets his just desserts, however, as he's ambushed and killed by a Dilophosaurus before he can escape Jurassic Park.
You shouldn't use my name.
Dodgson! Dodgson! We've got Dodgson here! See, nobody cares.
Number 5. Saruman the White, the Lord of the Rings franchise.
Sauron has regained much of his former strength. He cannot yet take physical form, but his spirit has lost none of its potency.
They say that power corrupts, and that absolute power corrupts absolutely. Saruman the White is hungry for that power. Saruman was the leader of the Istari Wizards, the group of sorcerers who were sent to Middle-earth to oppose Sauron, the Dark Lord. However, Saruman begins to crave Sauron's power and forms an alliance with him, betraying all of Middle-earth in the process, including his former friends like Gandalf the Grey.
Against the power of Mordor, there can be no victory. We must join with him, Gandalf. We must join with Sauron.
His desire for knowledge, order, and power further blinds him to the knives pointed at his back.
Save your pity and your mercy!
This was seen in the extended version of Return of the King, where Saruman gets his comeuppance at the hands of his long-suffering servant, Grima Wormtongue.
Something festers in the heart of Middle-earth. Something that you have failed to see. But the Great Eye has seen it. Even now, he presses his advantage. His attack will come soon.
Number 4. Lando Calrissian, Star Wars franchise.
I had no choice. They arrived right before you did. I'm sorry.
Those were the fateful words uttered by Cloud City Administrator Lando Calrissian after it was revealed that he had betrayed his friend Han Solo. Lando initially forsakes Han and company with altruistic intentions as he sought to distance Cloud City from the influence and control of the Galactic Empire. However, he soon realizes the grave consequences of his actions as they result in Han being frozen in carbonite and bring the galaxy one step closer to being ruled by the Empire.
Lord Vader, we only use this facility for carbon freezing. You put him in there, it might kill him.
I do not want the Emperor's prize damaged. We will test it on Captain Solo.
Ultimately, Lando undergoes a redemption arc. He ends up joining the Rebel Alliance, frees Han Solo, and atones for his earlier betrayal.
Look at you, a general, huh? Someone must have told him about my little maneuver at the Battle of Tanev.
Well, don't look at me, pal. I just said you were a fair pilot. I didn't know they were looking for somebody to lead this crazy attack.
Number 3. Henry Hill, Goodfellas.
We ran everything. We paid off cops, we paid off lawyers, we paid off judges. Everybody had their hands out. Everything was for the taking. And now it's all over.
We could have easily populated this list with figures from the seedy underworld of organized crime. That said, Ray Liotta's fictionalized portrayal of real-life monster Henry Hill just has to be one of the most memorable. This is thanks not only to the gravity of Hill's actions, but also due to their consequences. We follow Hill's violent rise to power throughout the 1990 film Goodfellas, but all of that influence is gone in an instant once he's nabbed by the FBI.
Dude, you meant whenever you move me, I asked you once, and I'm gonna tell you again, I don't want to go any place that's cold.
You really don't have a choice in that matter.
He testifies against his former colleagues and winds up entering the Witness Protection Program. Yet it's Hill who has to live with himself and the decisions he's made, as he lives out his days in safe but anonymous freedom.
I have to wait around like everyone else. Can't even get decent food. Right after I got here, I ordered some spaghetti with marinara sauce, and I got egg noodles and ketchup. I'm an average nobody. Get to live the rest of my life like a schnook.
Number 2. Fredo Corleone, The Godfather Part 2.
There's a plane waiting for us to take us to Miami in an hour, all right? Don't make a big thing about it. I knew it was you, Fredo.
It's one of the most famous betrayals in movie history, as well as perhaps the most iconic reactions to a betrayal. Al Pacino's aggressive kiss of death to co-star John Cazale ensures that both Cazale's Fredo Corleone and the audience know everything that's about to go down.
What about Fredo? What does he know?
He says he doesn't know anything, and I believe him.
Roth, boy, he played this one beautifully.
Frito has forgotten his family ties while working under Mo Green in Las Vegas, and outright betrays Michael by colluding with Johnny Ola and Hyman Roth. This results in an assassination attempt on Michael, which creates a permanent rift between the two siblings.
You're nothing to me now. You're not a brother. You're not a friend. I don't want to know you or what you do.
Frito's eventually killed on Michael's orders, although the youngest Corleone waits until their mother's passing to have the deed done. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Guy Woodhouse, Rosemary's Baby, forsakes his wife to Satanists for a career in show business.
All they said was get a second opinion.
Rosemary, you got the best doctor in New York. You know who Dr. Hill is? He's a Charlie Nobody. That's who he is.
I'm tired of hearing how great Dr. Saperstein is.
Harry Ellis, Die Hard. The ultimate negotiator fails to convince Nakatomi terrorists and pays the price.
Look, let's be straight, okay? It's obvious you're not some dumb schmuck up here to snatch a few purses, am I right?
You're very perceptive.
Riley Hicks, Fast and Furious 6, revealed as Shaw's secret lover and has to leave the team.
Come in, babe.
Of course.
Colin Sullivan, The Departed, a Massachusetts state police officer working for the mob.
They're suiting up for a raid right now. I don't know where they're going, but they do. And so do you. So make the call.
Daniel Cielo, Prince of the City, gray morality and perverse loyalties among crooked cops.
You run it! Starting with assistant DAs who plea bargain murder one down to a misdemeanor.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Cypher, The Matrix.
You know, I know this steak doesn't exist. I know that when I put it in my mouth, the Matrix is telling my brain that it is juicy and delicious.
What would you do if you were in Cypher's shoes in The Matrix? On one hand, we can certainly understand the desire for a return to normalcy, the yearning to eat a steak. This is despite Cypher's own admission that the steak doesn't exist.
And I want to be rich. You know, someone important. Like an actor.
Whatever you want, Mr. Regan.
Yet it's Cypher's betrayal of the team that gets members Apoc, Switch, and Dozer killed, and alerts Agent Smith to their location. Actor Joe Pantoliano defended Cypher's actions in a 2023 interview with AV Club, countering that Cypher didn't think that Neo was the guy, and that he bet on the wrong horse.
I'm tired, Trinity. I'm tired of this war. I'm tired of fighting. I'm tired of this ship.
Cypher's desired switch from red pill to blue pill may have erased his memory, but we'll never forget this betrayal of the Nebuchadnezzar. What's the most infamous movie betrayal? Let us know in the comments.
Start with you agree there is a rat.
You said there is one, all right?
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.